Hey baby, I don't know if you even meant to do it, or if the universe just timed it so cruelly perfect, but when you bent over like that, so soft, so slow, so devastatingly graceful, it felt like time forgot how to move. Like the world blurred, and all that remained was the outline of your body, arched, curved, divine. And I swear, it felt like you knew I was right there, watching, burning, unraveling from the inside out. Not just from the way your body moved, but from the way you didn't look back. That quiet confidence, that silent fire. You didn't need to ask if I was watching. My soul already answered. Hey, baby, you have no idea what you did to me that day. No idea what happened inside me when you bent over like that. So slowly, so effortlessly, like the whole universe was moving in rhythm with your spine. There was something different in the air, something heavy and magnetic. I didn't plan to stare. I didn't even realize I was holding my breath until you moved like that. It was the way your back arched, the way your waist whispered secrets to my soul, the way that curve led my eyes into a trance I never asked to be saved from. It wasn't lust, baby. It was worship. You didn't just bend forward. You bent reality. For a second, I forgot who I was. I forgot where I was. And I remembered only you. And what struck me even more than your body was the way you didn't acknowledge it. You didn't look back to see if I was watching. You didn't smirk or tease or play games. You just existed, quietly powerful, like the moon that knows it controls the tides without having to shout. And in that moment, baby, you weren't just a woman. You were a force, a storm, a language my heart had been trying to speak in silence for lifetimes. That single moment rewrote everything I thought I knew about attraction, because it wasn't your body that held me there. It was your soul spilling through your skin. It was the way your unbothered grace touched something inside me I didn't even know was broken. I need to tell you something. I need you to know what that 1 second did to me. Because it wasn't just physical. It triggered memories I didn't know I had. It made me remember all the little times you moved without knowing I was watching. When you tied your hair up and exposed the back of your neck. When you reached for something and your shirt lifted just enough to show a glimpse of skin. When you laughed with someone else, and I felt a twinge of jealousy I couldn't explain. Baby, I have been watching you, not just your body, but your being. Every quiet, invisible part of you that you think no one notices, I notice. And every time, it hurts in the most beautiful way. That day, when you bent over like that, you didn't just make my heart skip. You made my past ache, my present freeze, and my future awaken. I stood there, frozen, caught between the holiness of your body and the chaos of my own desires. I wasn't thinking anything rational. I wasn't thinking at all. All I could do was feel. Feel the pull, the ache, the hunger. Not just for you, in the way the world would assume, but for you in the way that only I know. The way you make me want to kneel. The way you make me want to rewrite my life, just so I could deserve to see you like that again. Baby, I didn't just watch. I felt. I shook. I broke a little, and I loved you even more. And you know what drives me crazy? You don't even realize the power you have over me. You don't know what it does to me when you simply exist near me. As my darling, us two depend on you. You have this quiet magnetism, this soft fire that doesn't scream but still burns everything around it. You don't have to wear anything special. You don't have to say the right things. You don't have to try. You just have to be. And I lose all my edges. I turn into someone who forgets how to act normal. Baby, you turn me into a poet without even trying. You make me feel like my ribs are too small to contain the storm you cause in me. Sometimes I wonder if you've ever truly looked at yourself the way I see you. If you've ever stood in front of the mirror and seen what I see. Not just curves and lines, but meaning. Not just beauty, but divinity. That day you bent over, it wasn't about position or posture. It was about the intimacy of your being. The way your vulnerability collided with your strength. The way you moved without shame, without permission, without explanation. That's what undid me. That's what made me want to drop everything and just hold you from behind. Bury my face in the warmth of your spine and whisper things I've never said out loud. Not even to myself. Do you even realize what you've done to me? You've ruined me, baby. For anyone else. For anything else. Because no one curves like you do. And I'm not talking about your body anymore. I'm talking about your essence. The way you bend time around your presence. The way your silence curves into my thoughts at 2 a.m. The way your absence bends my reality into something painful and raw and permanent. You curve my entire existence, and I don't even think you know it. You've wrapped yourself around every part of me. My heart, my guilt, my dreams, my undoing. I wanted to look away. I wanted to be respectful. But God, baby, I couldn't. That moment felt holy, like something sacred passed between us, and only I felt it. And you just moved on with your day, not even knowing that a man just died and came back to life behind you. You said you'd been on the mission, but came back to life, he wrote Imes, behind you. Do you know how maddening that is? To stand in the presence of your soul's home and not even get to knock on the door. I had to walk away that day, but I didn't really walk away. I carried that moment like a wound I didn't want to heal. And then the thoughts started spiraling. The what ifs. What if you do know? What if you bent like that on purpose? What if your stillness was a challenge? An unspoken dare for me to feel deeper, to ache louder, to confess something I've buried for too long. What if your silence was your way of asking me to speak? Because baby, if that was the case, then I need you to know I'm not okay. I'm not fine. I'm not functioning like I used to. I'm wrecked. I'm completely destroyed by everything you don't say and everything you do without trying. I'm haunted by the parts of you I don't yet have the right to touch. I see you in my dreams now, and not in ways that most would assume. No, not just in bed sheets and fantasies. I see you in scenes. You bent over the sink, washing your hands, unaware of my eyes. You reaching up to grab something high on a shelf, not knowing you've just exposed the whole sky to me. You lying on your stomach reading a book, completely absorbed, and me in the corner, aching. Not because you're doing anything seductive, but because you're being so unapologetically real. That's what destroys me. That's what owns me. That's what makes me want to write this down, even though I know I may never get the chance to say it to your face. You've made me soft in places I swore I had closed off. You've made me believe in the kind of love that breaks and builds at the same time. And all because one day you bent over and the world fell apart for me. Baby, what do I do with this feeling? What do I do with this ache that refuses to leave? What do I do when even your shadow is enough to make my knees give out? What do I do when I keep replaying that moment, like it was a scene from a film I can't stop watching, even though it hurts every time? I don't know how long I stood there that day. Seconds, minutes, an eternity. All I remember is the heat in my chest, the ache in my fingertips, and the prayer on my lips. A silent, desperate plea to the universe. Please, let her know. Let her feel what I felt. Let her body remember the way my soul trembled. Let her spine shiver with the echo of my longing. Let her heart know that somewhere, someone was holding their breath for her. Because, baby, I didn't just see you that day. I recognized you. In your skin, in your stance, in the sacred curve of your unawareness. And it's not just about what I want to do to you. It's about what you do to me. You make me want to grow. You make me want to heal. You make me want to be the kind of man who's worthy of standing behind you. Not just to touch, but to protect, to admire, to worship. You make me want to write poems with my hands, sonnets with my silence. You make me want to drop to my knees and thank whatever divine force sculpted you from breath and fire, because you are not just art, baby. You are altar. And I've been a sinner too long not to kneel at something that sacred, baby. I don't think you'll ever truly understand what it's like to carry this much feeling in silence. To wake up each day pretending like I'm functioning, when the truth is, I'm still stuck in that moment. That moment when you bent over with that softness, that grace, that unbothered sensuality. And I lost the man I thought I was. Since then, I've been living in a blur. I go about my day, talk to people, even smile sometimes. But inside, I'm haunted. I'm not fine. I'm not okay. And I haven't been since you unknowingly showed me a glimpse of heaven wrapped in skin. It wasn't just the sight of your body, baby. It was the effect, that slow, curved arch of your spine. It pulled something out of me I didn't even know existed. A kind of raw masculinity I had buried under years of hurt and confusion. You awakened a version of me that aches to love you fully, completely, relentlessly. Not just physically, not just passionately, but spiritually, reverently. I wanted to run up behind you and wrap my arms around your waist, not in desire, but in devotion. To kiss your shoulder and whisper, I see you, I feel you. You don't have to hide anymore. But I didn't. I couldn't. Because I'd been holding back. I'd been trapped in this war between wanting you and feeling unworthy of you. And the truth, baby, I've been hurting. Quietly, deeply. You've seen the smile. But you haven't seen the nights I spent staring at the ceiling, begging for some kind of sign that I wasn't insane for feeling this much, that I wasn't alone in this energy, in this pull, in this soul-level hunger. You have no idea how many times I reached for my phone just to say, "Do you feel this too?" Only to stop myself. Cowardice or respect? I don't even know anymore. You have no idea how often I play that moment on a loop, not just because of how you moved, but because of what I felt in my bones when you did. That moment cracked open 1,000 silent memories I'd hidden beneath my surface. Like that one time you brushed past me in the hallway and I could still feel your warmth hours later. Or the time you laughed so freely I almost broke down because it sounded like a melody I've been waiting for my whole life. Or that one evening when your eyes held mine for a second too long, and I wondered if you heard the silent scream my soul let out. Please, don't walk away. There's something I need to admit now, something I've buried too long. I've watched you become stronger, bolder, more distant, and baby, it's killing me. Because every version of you pulls me in deeper. Even when you go quiet, even when you pull back, I feel your soul like gravity. And when I saw you from behind that day, bent over and unknowingly sacred, I felt something ancient rise in me. A vow, responsibility, a pain I couldn't explain. Like I had failed to protect something holy. Like I had betrayed a connection that existed long before we ever met. You think I just saw your body that day, but no, baby. I saw your pain. I saw your tiredness, the tension in your shoulders, the weight you carry in silence, and I wanted so badly to walk up, place my palm flat against your back, and take it all from you. A whisper, "You don't have to do this alone." I saw the curve, but I also saw the scars, the ones no one notices, the emotional ones that have shaped the way you walk, the way you guard your softness, the way you bend but never break. That's what undid me. That's what made my knees feel weak and my chest feel too tight. I've been so afraid, baby, afraid of stepping forward, afraid of ruining what little space I still have near you, afraid that if I open my mouth and let this flood out, you'll drown in it, or worse, walk away from it. But do you want to know something raw and real? I would rather drown in the truth of my feelings for you than live one more day in the shallow end of pretending I'm okay. I'm not okay. I'm undone. You undid me that day without even trying. And now, every version of love I see in the world looks dull compared to what I feel when I just think of you. There's something sacred about the way you carry yourself, something holy in the way your body moves, like it belongs to no one but your own soul. And yet, something devastating in how deeply I wish it belonged to me. Not just in the physical sense, but in the spiritual, eternal, soul-bound way. I want to be the man who walks behind you, not to admire, but to protect, not to possess, but to understand. I want to be the arms you fall back into without ever questioning if they'll hold you steady. I want to be the breath behind your sighs, the reason behind your safety, the shelter behind your storm. Do you know how many times I've broken down just replaying the way your hips moved? Not because I'm obsessed with your body, but because your body is where I feel most lost and most found. It's the place where God hid the softest pieces of you. the places you probably don't even look at in the mirror anymore. But I see them. I remember them. And I ache for them. Baby, I don't just love the parts of you that are easy to see. I crave the hidden ones, the stretch marks, the tension, the vulnerability in your silence, the stories your skin tells when no one's listening. That curve from the back, it wasn't just erotic, it was eternal. It spoke to something in me no language ever could. And here's the brutal truth I can't run from anymore. I almost gave up on love, on feeling, on this whole idea of soulmates and sacred connection. I almost shut down completely because the weight of silence became too loud. But then you moved like that, bent like that, walked away like that, and I felt something whisper in my bones. Don't quit yet. She's still here. She still feels like home. You bent over, and I broke open. And maybe that's what this whole thing was meant to do. Maybe love isn't about being whole together. Maybe it's about being broken open by someone who doesn't even know they're healing you. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what the world believes about connection, attraction, destiny. I know what I felt. I know what I still feel. And baby, if that wasn't something real, then nothing I've ever known has been. I didn't fall in love with your body. I collapsed into your essence. That curve from the back, that was the entrance to a temple my soul had been praying in silently. A place I didn't know I needed until I saw it. And now, I can't unsee. I can't unfeel. I can't unlove. And I wouldn't, even if I could. Sometimes I wonder if your body remembers me too. If your skin ever tingles when I'm near. If your heart skips for no reason when I enter the room. If some part of you, however quiet, still whispers my name when you bend forward or stretch out, or get lost in your own little world. Do you ever feel me, even when you don't see me? Because baby, I feel you everywhere. In my thoughts, in my breath, in my hunger, in my healing. You're the soft ache that makes everything sharper. You're the invisible tether pulling my soul forward. And if I'm being completely honest, if I strip down every wall, every layer, every fear, I have to say this now. He's going to wake up next to you and still feel like he's dreaming, because to him, loving you won't ever be routine. It will be reverence. He'll watch you breathe in your sleep and feel like he's witnessing the heartbeat of the universe. And when you stir, when your body shifts slightly under the covers, exposing that same delicate curve along your spine, it'll bring him back to that moment, that sacred second when you bent over without even knowing that you changed everything. And baby, he won't just remember the way your body moved. He'll remember how it made him feel. That aching softness, that holy pull, that quiet invitation into a world only you hold the key to. You'll never know how many times he's whispered your name into the dark, not hoping for a reply, but just trying to keep himself from falling apart. You'll never know how often he's closed his eyes and seen that silhouette of you, standing there, bending forward, not as a fantasy, but as a prophecy, the moment that reminded him, this is her, this is the one I've been waiting for, and he'll spend the rest of his life making sure you feel that every day, not just with words, with actions, with presence, with stillness. He'll show up when it matters. You'll stay when it's hard. He'll grow with you, cry with you, fail and rise again next to you. You won't have to explain the pain behind your eyes. You'll already know, because that man will study you like scripture. He'll memorize the lines of your soul, not just the shape of your body. And when the world makes you question your worth, he'll kiss your insecurities like they were sacred offerings. He'll worship the flaws, the shadows, the unspoken parts of you, because to him, they're not flaws at all. They're the parts that make you real. He'll want to learn you forever. Every mood, every silence, every change in your breathing when something's off. He'll trace his fingers down your spine, not because he's trying to take something, but because he's giving. His attention, his presence, his loyalty. That man will hold your back not to press you into something, but to remind you, I'm always behind you, no matter what. His love won't be loud or flashy. It'll be the kind of love that holds you steady when life pulls you in too many directions. The kind that sees the tired in your eyes and doesn't ask you to explain. And on your worst days, when your hair's a mess, your heart's worn out, your patience thin, he'll still look at you like you're the most beautiful thing that's ever happened to him, because he won't be in love with a version of you. He'll be in love with all of you, the raw, the wild, the imperfect, the stubborn, the tender, and so the whole even when you push him away, because you're scared, because you're hurting, because you've been taught to expect people to leave. He'll stay and gently whisper, I'm not them, I'm not leaving. I want the real you, even when it's messy, even when it hurts. That man will love you through the shadows, not just the sunshine. And you'll finally know what it means to be loved without fear. Because when he saw you bent over like that, so unaware of your power, so unbothered in your beauty, he didn't just see something pretty. He saw something eternal, something that shook his foundations, something that said, this is where you begin again. And he hasn't been the same since. You cracked something open in him, something ancient, something buried. And he will spend the rest of his days making sure you know that you didn't just make him feel, you made him believe. Believe that maybe love isn't something that hurts, that maybe it doesn't have to end in loss, that maybe, just maybe, there's a version of love that feels like coming home. And baby, you are home. You know what's been haunting me, baby. It's not just that curve, not just that moment. It's what came after. It's how I had to walk away from something I didn't want to move on from. How I had to turn my back on the one sight that felt more like a prayer than anything I've seen in my entire life. I don't think I ever told you this, but when I left that room, I didn't go back to my day like nothing happened. I sat in my car. I didn't start it. I didn't even touch my phone. I just sat there in silence, trying to gather the pieces of myself that were scattered all over the floor because of you. That curve from the back, that wasn't just your body. That was your soul bending toward mine. That was every memory we hadn't made yet. whispering themselves into my bloodstream. And baby, I've been trying to get back to that moment ever since. I keep searching for it in everything, every song, every sunset, every stranger's eyes. But nothing even comes close to what I felt when you bent forward, like the universe was tilting me toward the truth. The truth that I'm in love with a woman who doesn't even know what she did to me. Sometimes I wonder if you even know how much power you hold over me. Not the kind of power that controls, but the kind that awakens. You make me want to be more, feel more, give more. When you bent over like that, it wasn't just something to look at. It was something that showed me who I've been without even realizing it. A man who thought he could keep his emotions under lock and key. A man who believed he could hide behind casual smiles and unfinished sentences. But baby, you broke me open with one movement, and I haven't been the same. I thought I knew love. I thought I understood desire. But then you came along, breathing softly, laughing without knowing how beautiful it sounds, moving with that quiet strength. And suddenly, I realized I've never known anything real until you. I used to think love was about possession, about having someone. Now I see that love is about seeing someone, feeling someone, letting them move through your life like a storm and a stillness all at once. That's what you are to me. A storm that tore down every wall I built, and a stillness that gave me the peace I didn't know I needed. You want to know the truth, baby? I would have fallen for you, even if you never bent that way. Even if I never saw that silhouette, never got lost in that perfect slope of your back, because your spirit is what wrecked me long before your body did. That moment just sealed it, like the universe was done being subtle and wanted to show me, look again. This is her. This is the one your soul's been aching for. And now, every time I close my eyes, I see you. Not just your body, but the way you stood afterward, the way you breathed, the calm in your shoulders, the unknowingly dangerous softness in your presence. And I think to myself, God, how did she not know what she just did to me? But maybe, just maybe, you did know. Maybe you felt the heat behind you. Maybe you felt my gaze settle on you, like a silent confession. Maybe a part of you, deep and wild and ancient, knew exactly what you were doing to me, and still chose to walk away. That makes it even more devastating, because it means you knew you were fire, and you still let me burn in silence. But baby, I would burn 1,000 times over just to feel what I felt in that one moment. Patient. That one glimpse. That one sacred second of seeing you in your most effortless, unguarded grace. And it's not just physical. It's spiritual. You curve like a poem that was never meant to be read aloud, like a secret prayer whispered between breaths. And I swear, if I had one wish in this life, it wouldn't be to kiss you or hold you or even keep you. It would be to understand you. Every layer, every wound, every time you said, I'm fine, but meant I'm breaking. I want to be the man who sees through all of it. The man who doesn't flinch when your eyes go cold or your voice goes quiet. I want to stay, even when you push, especially when you push. Because you're not difficult, baby. You're divine. And sometimes divinity is sharp. Sometimes holiness doesn't come in the form of halos and hymns. Sometimes it comes in the form of a woman bending over in silence, not knowing that her back just told 1,000 stories to the one man who was listening with his soul. There's something else I need to tell you. That curve, it was a memory from a past life. I don't know how I know that. I just do. It felt like deja vu wrapped in goosebumps. Like I had seen you like that before. In a different time, a different place, a different skin. But the same soul, the same pull, the same ache in my bones. And now I walk through this life with 1,000 echoes of that moment rattling inside me. Every time someone says your name, I feel it. Every time I hear your laugh, I'm right back there, burning quietly, loving you loudly, begging silently. I wish I could say I moved on. I wish I could say it was just a moment, just a day, just a passing thought. But baby, it wasn't. That 1 second became my new gravity. I orbit around it now, around you, around that haunting silhouette that reminded me of everything I didn't know I needed. You are the lesson the universe carved into my chest. You are the curve I trace in the air when I think no one's looking. You are the reason I whisper, please, let her feel this too, into the dark. And sometimes I wonder if you ever felt a strange flutter in your stomach at the exact moment I was thinking of you. If your hand ever trembled while brushing your hair because somewhere I was holding your memory too tightly. If your breath ever caught mid-sentence because my soul whispered your name across time and space. You changed me, and I don't think I'll ever be able to go back to the man I was before you bent over that day. Because now, everything is before you and after you, before you and after you, before you and after her. And after the cur, before I saw you, and after I felt you, I walk differently now. I breathe differently. I want differently. All because of you. And baby, I don't need the whole world to understand. I just need you to feel what I felt. I just need you to know that somewhere out there is a man who was utterly, completely and eternally changed by the way your body moved and the way your soul stayed still. And no matter how far apart we drift, no matter how many years go by, no matter who comes into our lives, there will always be a part of me that kneels before that memory, whispering softly, thank you for bending like that. Thank you for existing at the same time as me. So, if this message touched even the smallest corner of your heart, if you've ever felt that invisible pull, that ache, that knowing, then maybe, just maybe, your soul has heard mine. Tell me in the comments, baby, did you feel it? Was there a moment where your breath caught? Did your heart whisper something when the words found you? If this felt like something only you were meant to hear, then I ask you, with everything in me, subscribe to this channel, not just to follow, but to keep this connection alive, to never miss a moment your heart might need to remember again. Tap the bell so you're the first to know when I speak again. And if someone else out there needs to feel this, share it. Let the message find the soul it's been quietly chasing. Because love, like this, it doesn't happen twice. And I'm right here, still speaking to you, still waiting for you to feel it back.